Oh, crap, hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to start the reading like that. What is up, everybody? Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome. It's a beautiful Saturday, September 20th. Is it the 20th? Yeah, today is the 20th. September 20th. September 20th, 2025. This is a general reading. My readings are timeless. So it doesn't matter if it's today, September 20th, 2025, or November 19th, 2035, that you're listening to this. It's timeless. This is a general reading for the collective. So keep in mind that this message may not apply to everyone. Everything in this message may not apply to you. So take what resonates. Discard what doesn't. Discard it. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm picking up on someone who has been doing a lot of healing lately. A lot of healing. A lot of beautiful healing. A lot of healing for the collective, believe it or not, whether you know it or not. You are one powerful motherfuckers. Yeah. Yeah, so you may have been reflecting a lot on past situations in your life, past people in your life, maybe certain specific situations that back then in the past, at the time maybe you looked at like a downfall, right, or a setback, or a mistake on your part, right? Maybe pain that you inflicted onto another individual unintentionally, but you did it, you know. This could have been 10 years ago, this could have been 5 years ago, could have been 10 minutes ago, it doesn't matter, it was the past, right? Time's irrelevant. So they say. But recently you may have found yourself focusing on not just one, maybe multiple encounters that you had with previous souls in the past, friends, family, random strangers, right? Of situations that just didn't turn out the way that you would have wanted it to, or didn't turn out hello? What was that? I don't know. Okay, but focus. Things that maybe, like, let's say, okay, for example, I'll give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example. Let me just start off with a little disclaimer that I am not perfect. I do not portray myself to be perfect. I have made many mistakes. A lot of mistakes that I do wholeheartedly regret, and that recently some have surfaced, and that I've in particularly looked back on, dwelled upon in a sense, you know, kind of got sad about it, maybe shed some tears. And when I'm speaking to myself, again, my readings, I'm a mirror, I'm not a map, okay? So maybe I can just reflect to you something that you are going through with yourself. And in case maybe you're not aware of it, maybe I can bring that to light and just give you a little bit of light and a little bit of hope of the powerful shit that you are freaking creating, manifesting, transmuting, right? But so yeah, you may have recently found yourself focusing on things in the past that have not turned out in your favor with other individuals, and that I gotta turn this down because I love the background music, but boy, is it loud and it's a little bit distracting. Is that good? That's good. So for example, for me, I was looking back on a past situation. I had worked with an individual. This was probably 11 years ago. 11 freaking years ago, and here I am just now finally hashing through, transmuting, and getting that shit off my chest, out of my chakras, out of my body, that negative energy that I've been holding on to for so long because I felt so bad. for what I had done to this individual, which I am not proud of, but I'm going to speak of it here because I'm just trying to show you that, hey, I'm not trying to show you that, hey, I'm a better person, but I'm trying to show you that, hey, we all make fucking mistakes in life. Huge mistakes. Some huger than others. That does not define who you are today. Especially, well, more so if you're doing better and trying to be a better person, right? But so I worked with this individual who, here comes my dad, he's gonna look at the window and be like, why is she talking to herself at the window? I love it. This always happens with me and the neighbor in particular, because my neighbor, his house like sides right up to my dad can't see me though. I don't know why I find this so funny. My dad doesn't know that I like do readings and then I post them or record them, you know? So I can only imagine what he thinks. And I recently moved in with my dad maybe like 3 months ago. I love living here, by the way. I live in the middle of motherfucking nowhere and it's beautiful. It's just us and some trees, dogs, some cats. My 2 nephews live with us. They are home dogs. Yes, they are. They are beautiful little beings. They are magical little beings. I fucking love them so much. But anyways, so 11 years ago, going back, I worked with this person, this individual, this soul, this beautiful, beautiful soul, this kindred soul. I'm getting a little teared up now just thinking about this individual, because looking back, especially now at this point in my life, I knew then when I met this person who turned out to be my boss, right? This gentleman hired me, doing business, not with him, for him, at one of his many small businesses that he had created, magically manifested, you know, built by himself, you know, from the ground up. When I say that this person was such a beautiful being, like, it's so weird that I'm even like, if he were to hear me say this about him, he'd probably be like, what the fuck, this bitch is crazy. I only worked for him a short time, right? But from the day that I interviewed, like, and maybe not so then when I interviewed that I felt like, oh God, we totally hit it off. I didn't necessarily feel that. I felt like the interview went great. I felt like this guy is like, I could totally, you know, conversate with him. Believe it or not, I do have a hard time conversating with just anybody. I can talk this shit. I can, you know, talk about nonsense and daily bullshit with anybody, unfortunately, and I fucking hate it. It drains the life out of me. But to find individuals that I can actually sit there and talk about, deep thoughts, you know, or the radical nonsense that flows through my head, that's a few and far between that I do find. That's my cat knocking at the door. Sorry about that. You're gonna have to come back, Rosie. We're full. She's annoying. But going back to, he still is an amazing person. Did I get to know him in his entirety? No. Could he have flaws that maybe I didn't see, that I'm not speaking of right here? Absolutely. Very well could be. I mean, isn't that what the world is, basically? We build somebody up, we put somebody on a pedestal. I'm not saying that I did that with him. I legit, like, I would stand in court and be like, this motherfucker is the real deal. Holyfield, good heart, good soul, projects nothing but love. And anyways, I worked for him for a short time, and I fucking burned him. I burned him bad, and it came to light, you know, while I was working with him. He was made aware of what I had done, which, what it was, I'm going to tell you, because I'm going to tell you because, okay, so, in lack of better words, you could call it theft. You could say that I stole from him. Okay, so I did handle funds for specific projects, and that did consist of collecting cash and collecting payments putting them in the safe, and then at the end of each day, you know, reconciling whatever cash funds in the system and then taking them to the bank. And sometimes I wouldn't take those payments to the bank every single day. I would hold on to the payment and then deposit it, if not the next day, or the next day, you know, the third or fourth day. And I would do that because I was weighing it out until if I was low on funds, right, and I needed if I needed money for something in particular, I would hold on to the deposits, not deposit them, and use the funds. And then when I would get paid on payday, I would replenish the funds and then quickly deposit them in hopes, hey, it's only been 2 or 3 days, he hasn't noticed, right? Well, after a period of time, you know, it caught up with me. What I was doing was wrong. What I was doing was theft, was stealing. There's no way, shape, or form around it, and it's something I'm very ashamed of still. It's taken me 11 years to excuse me, it's taken me 11 years to forgive myself. But it still weighs very heavy on me, and it weighs very heavy on me, not just because I know that, like, I had burned a very important individual in my life. And again, he may not have been important to me, or even looked at me as important to him, or him vice versa, you know, to me at that specific moment in time. But had I have been the best individual that I could have been, that I can be, you know, and that's what I strive to do every day now. But back then, I without a doubt wholeheartedly know that something beautiful would have flourished out of that relationship. And I'm not saying like a love relationship, I'm just saying like a true, beautiful soul connection. And that's what it was. And again, like I said, you know, he may, let's say if he was, you know, a fly in the room or whatever it's called, a fly on the wall, he could hear me and be like, no, she's crazy, I don't know what she's talking about. And that's fine. He can think that, that's okay. But in my mind, I viewed it differently. So in my world, in my universe, because that's all each of us is, right? People think that, like, oh, we live in this universe. No, motherfucker, you are the universe. You are. So abide by those universal laws and find that one love, and love yourself, you know, and know that the universe is within you. So how you see the universe and how you think and love and portray and project out in the outside world, your thoughts, right? James Allen, I think, is it James Allen? Many philosophers, James Allen being one of them, excuse me, dubbed the whole, as a man thinketh, that's what it is, as a man thinketh, James Allen, dubbed that whole train of thought of your mind, your thoughts. Look at your brain, look at your mind as a garden, right? And every thought that you have is a seed, and that seed goes into your garden, right? So what's gonna bloom from your garden? And what's gonna bloom is those seeds. So every good thought that you have, you know, like say you come into a shitty situation with someone and you're like, that motherfucker, oh, he cheated me wrong and blah 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 blah, and you plant on that seed, right? So then what is that? It's gonna sprout this little flower or whatever, this beautiful bloom of bullshit, and everything that grows from those thoughts, those seeds, goes out into your universe, your external universe, okay? So it's whatever you see out in the world every single day, good, bad, a mixture of in between, you created that all. You created that all. Do you need a minute for that to sink in? You created that all. It's up to you how you want to deal with the situation that you're... Now, let's just say, like, okay, so as of right now, moving forward, you do nothing but think fucking rainbows and cupcakes and fucking... whatever else is good. grandma. I don't know, it was the first thing that came to mind, but like, so if you do that right now, are you instantaneously gonna see rainbows and beautifulness and everything's great and good? No, it's gonna take time, okay? It's gonna take time. You still gotta watch out all the other negative bullshit that you've been planting in there, just like any garden, you know? Here comes my stepmom. She can't see me, but she can hear me talking about her because she just walked in a circle like, who's talking about me? It's so funny, they can't see shit. I love these windows. I guess they got like a natural tint on them. I love my family. Okay, so anyways, you are the creator of your own universe. That term, that dub, that saying isn't just bullshit. It's the truth. It's so crazy how like my life, like all my life, like I've heard all, you know, I've heard sayings and this, that, and that, and that. And it's just now that I'm 45. I know you probably thought I was 65, didn't you? No, I'm 45. It's just now that like I'm finally putting all these things together of like, oh wait, you are the creator of your own universe. Like I am the own creator of my own universe. I'm 45 and just now realizing this. That's why I'm making these videos, because maybe, just maybe, there's another 45-year-old out there that hasn't quite yet learned it. And if so, this video's for you. This video's for you. Listen up. Listen up. The shit is real. It is real. So yeah, if you want to change your life, start with going inward. Number one, get to know yourself. Know who you really, really are. You could portray yourself to be some, like, perfect prince, princess, whatever. I don't know why I always think I'm talking to men, when probably statistics would show that the majority of women that, or the majority of people that watch videos such as this are women. But anyways, it doesn't matter. My readings, there is no sexuality, so it's like whatever. You could be male, female, half female. You could not even have female or male in you. I don't care. You're one. I'm one. You're me, I'm you. All each other. But anyways, okay, let's take a step back out and come back in and get back to reality of the nature of this reading, which is, Rosie, I said we're full. You gotta go inward, right? You gotta get to know yourself. You gotta love yourself. You could portray yourself to be this prince or this perfect person, and I do good things for the world and stuff. If, number one, if you're doing good things for people to notice, get the fuck off the boat. Go back to base, to ground zero, whatever, and start the game over. Because you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You wholeheartedly, genuinely, from the bottom freaking epitome of your soul and your heart and your gut, like where it fucking tickles your taint, that's where you have to start. And you have to do shit for you and for the goodness of who you want to be. You could portray yourself and do all this good shit so that the world looks at you like, God, such a good person right there. Like, always doing great things, always holding the door for people. Like, that individual, such a good person. You may trick a few people. You may make a few people believe that. But let me tell you something. You're gonna go down a long motherfucking dirt road, and you won't even know it. It's gonna start out like pavement. You're just gonna think like, yeah, I'm coasting along. Got a nice car. That's whatever. I'm not gonna focus on negativities of how you got that car. But, and then before you know it, the rain starts to come, and you're like, oh, I can barely see, and then all of a sudden the pavement ends, and then it's like, you're on gravel, and then all of a sudden the storm's coming, and then, oh my god, now you're on dirt road, and then windshield wipers don't work, and it's raining, and there's dirt, you can't see, and you stop, and your car breaks down, and then it's like, just you and the universe. And they're like, so, let's talk about all that good shit that you've been portraying to be. Because your thoughts are saying otherwise. Because if you don't think that nobody's watching and nobody's listening, you are so fucking wrong. The universe is watching and listening, and that is the only motherfucker that matters here. And yes, the universe is within you. So in a sense, the only person watching is you. I doubt that's going to make any fucking sense to anybody. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're doing shit just to try and make people think that you're something that you're not gonna get anywhere. You're not. It may work for a short period of time. You're only hurting yourself, right? You're only hurting yourself. But with that sense, the good news is that, hey, if you really want to be a better person, or if you really want other people to see you as a good person, then be a better fucking person, right? It took me a long time to realize that, right? Like I said, it took me 11 years to finally, well, not realize that. I always wanted to be a good person, but there was a good majority of time in my younger years where I thought, like, just by acting like a good person, it meant I was a good person. So I could hold the door and smile and be like, oh, not a problem at all. It's not a problem at all. Please come through. And in my mind, I'm thinking, motherfucker, hurry up. Now what is that? What is that? That's humanity. That's human. That's being human. Okay, so recognize that. There's nothing wrong with you if you do bullshit like that, but it is bullshit, right? It took me a while to realize that, but I did finally come. 21:11 on the clock. Hello, hello, hello. But I finally realized that there's no point of holding the fucking door open unless you want to hold the door open for somebody. And if you got to the point where you don't want to hold the door open for somebody because you're in too much of a hurry, slow the fuck down. Stop and wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. You would do yourself a huge favor. But anyways, back to this beautiful individually human being that I fucked over. And I regretted. And when I say, like, when it came to surface and he had to call me out on my bullshit, and he did, very respectfully, because that's just the beautiful fucking human being that he was, right? It was maybe not that specific moment, that minute, maybe not even that month, you know, but it was the beginning of a tower moment in my life that did take me 10 years to go through. And I'm not saying that my actions are responsible for that. Granted, now here I am, 11 years later or whatever, however long it was, I should probably do the math, but you get the picture, right? Now here I am, and it was one of the biggest lessons in my life thus far. One of the biggest lessons that had the most impact of shaping who I am today. And I think that more so plays a lot into why I even now look back, like back then, you know, like I said, when I first met the guy, like I legit was like, I could tell there was a great deal of connection or something. You know, in the beginning I thought, oh, I had a crush on him. He was a very good looking guy, and he was just very, I don't want to say perfect because nobody's perfect, right? I'm not trying to put anybody up on a pedestal, but he was an ideal image of who I guess I could have seen myself with. And when I speak of myself, I'm speaking of my highest self, the highest self, the best, highest potential person that I could be. And he was just ahead of the time, fuck, because we were the same age, but boy, he had me knocked out of the park when it came to, like, knowing the fucking gist of life, and rightfully so, you know. But anyways, 11 years it took me, and I'm just now realizing that, right? Like, that was the start of a tower moment that lasted 9, 10, 11 years of me going through turmoils and trials and tribulations and fucking paying for fuck ups that I did, and addictions that I had, and just not being a good person and not understanding my life wouldn't work out for me. And you know, here I am now. I'm not embarrassed of that. I'm not. I look back at the individual that I was, and a part of me like wants to say like, hey, like, what is going on? There's like a caravan of construction trucks coming down the road, and there's not too many people that come down this road, so, and they're all slowing down. This is grape juice. Oh, this is grape juice. So good, grape juice. I love grape juice. Oh, they're pulling in our driveway. He's right here. I don't even know if he can see me. Oh, this must be the electrician. Anyways, okay. I can see, something doesn't want this to come out. We're gonna get a few interruptions here, but you know what? We're gonna keep on keeping on. Ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Oh no, not my throat. Chakras. Okay. But, I look back at that individual that I was back then, and yet I was a fuck up, you know, in lack of better words. I made a lot of mistakes. But me, who I am today, I look back almost like I'm that inner child of me then, because that's really what I was, you know. I'm not saying that I'm some like huge adult now, although I'm 45. I guess, yeah, maybe I should. It's okay to say I'm an adult. It's okay to say I'm an adult. And it's okay to say you're an adult, whether you're 5 or 45. Be whatever the fuck you want to be. Just make sure that you're being in here before you try to project it or persuade people into thinking that you're out here. That same person, right? Whatever you're in here is what you're going to be out here, no matter how hard you try. So if you're being one thing in here, profile A, but yet out here you're trying to persuade people that profile B, it's not going to work. No, and you're only slowing down this whole freaking process of lessons that you're supposed to learn. That's why we're here, right? But I look back on that dumb motherfucker that I was, and I'm like, hey, kudos to you, you little fucking dumb idiot. Because you are the one that held all that weight, all that pain, all that sorrow, all those fuck-ups, all those mistakes, all that embarrassment, all that guilt, all that heartache. You held it all. And you held on. And you waited for me to get here and to finally be like, oh my God, let me just like take some load off of you. Let's fucking work through this bullshit, transmute it, get it off your back, girl, because you have been coming way too long, carrying way too much shit, right? Let's be a better person. And if it wasn't for that fucking idiot in the past that held on, I wouldn't be who I am today, and I am a good fucking person. I'm a good fucking person. I still make fucking mistakes, so don't fucking quote me on any of this, anything that I say here, like, right? But I hope you found something. Where I'm going with this, hold on. Is that, okay, so recently, one of the things that I had thought of are that one of the people that have come up was this individual, the boss, you know, from the past, and the other night, like, I sat and cried for this individual, not for this individual, and not because I felt, well, because I felt bad for what I had done to him, and because I knew that I had missed out on an opportunity because of my ill actions, right? But I more so sat there and contemplated it, and I'm like, well, what is this? Like, do I just feel like I hurt him? Like, did I hurt him? Could I have hurt him? And that is what, like, that's what sat the heaviest with me, is thinking, like, because for the longest time, you know, like, I would look back on it, and I'd get sad about it, right? And I'd cry about it because I felt horrible. But what it came down to, looking back on it now, is like, I felt horrible because I was embarrassed. Because I knew what was projected onto me, which was who I was. I made a mistake. That mistake was projected onto me, and then I was embarrassed because of it, and now I'm gonna cry about it. Well, keep on crying. Ain't nobody gonna fucking come bring you a handkerchief, you know? And it took me 11 years to realize one day. And then I realized that, yeah, you cry all you want about the embarrassment, but it still ain't gonna change not who you were, but what you did. So you need to somehow come back to ground zero with that mistake that you made. Take that negative energy, take that negative bullshit, take that negative person that you were, and get the fuck on with it. Cut that person go. You are no longer that person. And then you can come back and you can transmute any other leftover energy, which was quite a bit of negative energy that I felt because I was holding on to of this thought deep down in me of I could have hurt him. And it didn't even dawn on me back then that I thought I didn't even think about it. But like, it's almost like I never even would have imagined it of hurting him, because what could have hurt him? Because he just seemed like he just had shit figured out. But anyways, that was one of the things that recently came up. And so you may yourself, we're in 31 minutes and 25 seconds. I'm so sorry I did not mean for this to take this long, but let's get to it. Okay, so you may have been doing something similar with bringing up things from your past that you weren't proud of, or that you maybe haven't necessarily hashed out with your inner world, with your inner self, right? And maybe you have found some emotions come out of you that you're like, what the fuck, this just happened like 20,000 years ago. Why am I now shedding a little tears about it? You're doing that because you are transmuting that energy, because you answered that fucking call. Or cling, 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 cling. You answered the call. You accepted the call. You accepted the challenge. You went in. You did the inner work. You soft scrubbed inside. You 409, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you're at my mom's house and you drink a lot of vinegar. You know, you cleanse your inside outs, right? You became a better person. You are a better person. You're a beautiful fucking person. You are a gorgeous, very powerful, very intuitive, highly magnetic. You may have a lot of people stare at you. And you may not even like perceive yourself as somebody that is good looking, but let me tell you, who I'm seeing right now, you are one motherfucking good looker motherfucker. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You've got eyes that could, like, what is there a superhero that has a superpower where they like, does that make sense? That, like, I don't want to say light comes out of your eyes. Light does come out of your eyes, actually. Light does come out of your eyes. But it's not necessarily like this, like, visible light where you're like, choom, choom. But you see straight through people. That's what I'm trying to say. Or no, you don't see straight through people. You do in a sense, because you're very good at also energy reading. Thank you. But when people look at you, sometimes like they'll stare and stare and stare, and then you look at them, and the minute that eye contact comes, they're like, but you can, and half the time, like, let's say you're walking into a store, I'm seeing someone like walking into Target, and you're like, you know, just minding your own business, having good thoughts, and then all of a sudden it's like you can feel energy, right? You're like, you can feel people looking at you, but you're like, I'm just gonna hold my composure, I'm gonna keep thinking. And you're like trying in your head, like, yeah, just keep thinking these thoughts, and then you're like, oh god, why is everyone staring at me? And then finally you're like, okay, are they staring at me? Because this is feeling pretty intense. And then you look, and then everyone's like, that's your beauty, bro. That's your fucking beauty. Because that's how fucking beautiful you are. God damn. Are you local? Oh, because no. Okay. Anyways, did I get anything out what I was trying to get across other than you're beautiful, I made mistakes, where be a better person in here, and it'll come out here. Oh, and you answer the call, and you were going through those past thoughts, right? Okay, there we go. Get back on track. You may have been doing that recently. Why were you doing that? And you may have thought, you asked yourself, like, what the fuck am I doing this for? Why am I thinking about this person from 9 years ago, 10 years ago? I know I apologize to them, but dude, you're doing that because that's just a leftover little fragment inside of you. That's like a leftover fragment of a soul, a part of your soul that you no longer are. That you are like, you're like, okay, so I'm seeing this individual that's like walking, and then all of a sudden, like, bear with me. So picture like someone in like a black bodysuit, and you're like walking, or even like a blue screen suit or whatever. You're walking, and then all of a sudden, like, a light comes on, and then like every little ray of this light, like it fractals out, and then it like goes through you, and it's like pew, 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 and it like almost is like putting holes right through you, but really that's your light from the outer coming in. I guess we're going in, out, and then out, in again. I don't know, but it's a cleansing. It's a cleansing. Yes. Oh my God, do you feel that? Oh. It's a cleansing. If you just felt goosebumps, this motherfucking reading is for real. But it is a cleansing. It is a cleansing because you have fucking ranked up. You have ranked up. You have hired up. You have leveled up. God damn, you beautiful motherfucker. You are. I am getting teary-eyed, not because I'm sad, but because it's happy. And here we got the fucking dolphin, right? Swim in the happy joy of living. Swim in it. Swim in it. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Exhale it all. Dive into your own wisdom. Go with the motherfucking flow. So with the dolphin, I mean, we could have water energy, obviously. Fun-loving, intelligent motherfucker you are. You're resilient. You go with the flow. You know, water is like the most powerful force. Powerful something. It's just powerful. It's probably the most powerful. You think about water, right? And like all the things that it can do. It can do a lot. I don't know if I want to go down that track, but I just feel like, God, I feel like I should almost just stop it here because that's how beautiful it was. But that card flew out, so I had to take that. But you're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. But let's just see if we can get any cards out here today from Spirit just to say, oh, yeah, you're a cougar, are ya? Oh, are you a cougar like me? You find your power in silence. Yes, you do. You like to party, you like to mingle, but you're that motherfucker that's like, I just want to go in the bathroom and like sit there for a minute with my beer and my cigarette and just think. Is that you? And just because it says cougar doesn't mean that you have to be female, obviously. There's no sexuality in these readings. But, you love your internal world. You are one imaginative fricker, and rightfully so. I don't know if this is like your mind. Sorry, I'm like going downtown. I don't know if it's like this is pictorial of your imagination that I'm getting right now, but like, holy shit, if it is, no wonder you're a thinker, no wonder you like solitude, no wonder you like thinking, because your internal world is so much fucking cooler than the external world. Does that make sense? But the beautiful thing about it is that your internal world and everything that like goes on in your fucking head, your imagination, everything that you're imagining and you're manifesting. You are this point in your life where all your life you could have been, all your life you were like this, okay? All your life you were this individual that was like the daydreamer, maybe a little bit aloof, but still you were on fucking fleek with like shit. Like people could be like, if they didn't know you, or maybe they just met you and they're like, oh, this little daydreamer, whatever, and you could be like off in the clouds and something, and all of a sudden like a ball comes flying and you're like, whoosh, and you grab the ball, like, because that's just like how fucking radical you are. Wow, who are you? Who are you? Oh, man. Falling in love with you. No, but the cougar, so you find your silence and power. You also, I feel like, you've always known, like, you've always been the leader, right? You've always been in a leadership role, but it's almost been like, not that the world played a trick on you, but maybe that freaking external forces, stupid forces, or like other people, like maybe played a trick on you. Like, you never, okay, maybe when you're younger years, okay, yeah, you did. You had to like kind of prove yourself more so than other stupid. Hey, let's phone back in and get that positive shit going on, because we don't call nobody stupid here. Nobody is stupid. Nobody is stupid. Nobody is stupid. If you ever come to find yourself calling someone else stupid, check yourself before you wreck yourself, and remind yourself that, hey, such individual is not stupid. Such individual just needs someone else to show them how to be I'm gonna say less stupid, because that's the only word they can come up with right now. We're already at 41 minutes and 44 seconds, and I don't want to drag this out, because then otherwise nobody's ever gonna read it or listen to it or whatever, and it's never gonna give the message across to that beautiful fucking person, whoever you are. But anyways, okay. Leadership role. You're a leader. You're a motherfucking leader. You've always been a leader. Maybe in the past, like, you had to like almost like prove yourself more. Prove yourself. There's a lineup of 5 kids I'm seeing, and it's like all of them have yellow hair, all of them have black shirts, all of them have blue shirts, all of them have red shoes. They're all the same height. They're all the same structure, physique, whatever, right? They're the same motherfucking individuals looking, right? And there's nothing really coming out of them, so it's not like, but for whatever reason, you were singled out. It's almost like people were just like, give this one a hard time. You know why? Because they knew. Because even though you look like other people sometimes, I just don't think you did, though, because you're so good looking. But your inner light blinded people. Your inner light was always there. Your inner light was always coming through. And some people didn't even know what inner light was back then, but they knew that you had something. And you always, the majority of the time, you even kept quiet. You were shy. You specifically kept your mouth shut about certain things. It started because you just almost like you didn't want to make your peers feel like they were not as smart as you. You are ahead of the times, yes, but you hemmed up, you zipped your lip a lot. And what a beautiful little being you were, too, because you, like, will go out of your way to play dumb sometimes just to make other kids feel good about themselves. Who does that? Oh, that is so beautiful, but can we not? These are happy tears. They're happy tears, but let me back away from the camera, because as I said earlier, I am 45 and I don't need to wreck anybody's Saturday, but that was humor, speak it into existence, remember? But you've always been the leader, and in your younger years you zipped up to make other people feel good. you didn't want other people to feel bad about themselves because maybe you just automatically knew the answer to certain things. You never even really questioned it, right? Maybe once you got a little bit older, you somehow wondered, like, how did I just know how to do that when I've never done that before? Well, because you're a gifted child. If you are, you little coon dog, you're a gifted little booger. And over time, it's like in your younger years, you zipped up to make other kids feel like it was normal for them to maybe struggle or not know how to get things right out from the bat. And that's why you acted like them, you know? Like you didn't understand things right off the bat. That was really kind of you and really beautiful. But then it's like as you got older, there was nothing you could do because it's like even still that light shines so bright and you can play dumb all you want. But individuals would still like target you out or like, you know, single you out because they knew you had something, right? They knew you had something. And then you found yourself like having to try harder to be liked, just like the same individual, you know, that you're 10 years old now and you're standing next to, and that was the same individual that you're standing next to when you were 5 and you were trying to make them feel better about having to not get things, you know, right off the bat, right? And now there you are, 10 years old, and now you have to like try harder to get people to notice you. But really the sad part was like they noticed you all along. They just wanted to give you a hard time because it, you know, especially at that age, and that's so sad how like people can do that and how mean kids can be and how mean adults can be to kids, at least back, you know, when you were a kid. Maybe you're a kid now, maybe you're still going through that, and if that's the case, fucking call me, dude. I'll set my inner world aside, I'll come bust some fucking chops for you, because ain't nobody fucking picking on kids here. No. Nobody's picking on nobody. I don't care if you're 80 fucking 5 years old. If somebody's picking on you, call me, hit me up, comment, message me. We'll work this shit out. We'll take care of it. With love. Yeah. We'll love that motherfucker to death. You bet your fucking ass we will. But, anyways, you always were the leader. Always. And there was a point in your time, there come a point in time in your life where maybe you fell off the tracks, yes. You had your little downfalls, but still, even then, you were a fucking leader. So it's like, maybe you hung out with the wrong crowd, right? Maybe you had addictions in the past. But why do I see this motherfucker that no matter, like, what hole you fall into, you always find yourself looking around like, oh, you guys fall in the hole too? Alright, I'll be the leader. Why? Because that's just how fucking beautiful you are. And that should be all you need to like look back on in life and be like, God damn, I'm listening to this reading and like, this really sounds like this crazy cougar was talking about me. It's because I am. That's always been you. Always been you. And I hope that you can look back and see how like even when you were in your fuck up stages of life, you were still leading and learning a lesson you didn't even know you were learning at that time. How beautiful. God. Anyways, cougar, right? You got the courage to succeed fucking anything. And I think right now, more than ever, is the time that you're coming in your life where you're like, I think that's true. Because it is. And it's about fucking time. So we're at 49 minutes. I'm just gonna see if there's anything else coming out. And then maybe we'll call it quits. Hopefully I can stop by, well, not 50 minutes, huh? Anything else? Anything else? Is anybody there? Be my old friend. Whatever that song is. Can you tell me where he's gone? He's seen a lot of people, but the good that I know. Oh, royalty. royalty. You're the royal bee. Community. Bee. Okay, yeah, bees in community. I can see that. Okay, you're a little hard worker. You're a busy little bumblebee. You are a powerful fucking creator. And your work blesses everything that you touch. Yeah, bees are royal. Why are they royal? Why do I think they're royal? Why am I saying this? Why do I sometimes say shit that I'm like, whoa, back it up. Bees are royal? Okay. Who's Queen Bee? Oh, Queen Bee! Okay. Alright. And by pew, I meant like thoughts firing off. I wasn't. You are the Queen Bee. Yes, you are. You may be seeing a lot of bees. You may have bees attracted to you because you're so fucking sweet. So fucking sweet. They mistake you for honey. Yes, they do. Honey. Maybe you have beehives. Maybe you hive honey? Hive honey? Do you hive honey? Is that what it's called when you... I don't know the word. When you make honey? When you cultivate honey? Cultivate. You know what I'm saying, right? Anyways, bees, you bees, if it is, this reading may be for you. Cougar, this reading may be for you. Dolphin, this reading may be for you. So you may be a water sign. You may be a Leo. You got royal in your blood, that's for sure. You got royal in your blood. Bees are attracted to you, or bees are on your property. Okay, maybe, yeah, if you're in a hazmat suit, maybe you do work with bees. But bees are also attracted to you because your blood is royal, and therefore it is mistaken for honey. I don't know what that means. But it's 52 minutes on the timer. Let's just take one card from the Cosmic Oracles, just because I love this deck. I do. And we're gonna see if anything pops out. If it doesn't, who's this guy? It's another old man walking around the property. I bet he's in one of those construction trucks. Okay. Although I said old man, and his hair was dark. It wasn't gray. I don't know why I said old man, because he was looking the other way. He probably could feel my energy coming through the window here. Sorry. I went to the Sealer Market today, and it was wonderful. They had an Hispanic festival right next door. I went. I got buttered chicken and basamini. I can never say that type of rice. I love rice, though. Oh, man, I love rice. If you love rice, that's really maybe for you. But that's what I got at the Hispanic Festival, which I found was just... I love butter chicken and rice, obviously, but I freaking love me some Hispanic food, too. And trust yourself always. Always trust yourself. Sorry if my nails are dirty. I don't care. Trust others once they've earned it. So always trust yourself. Yes, ain't that the truth? Trust others once they've earned it. Alright, we're at 53 minutes and 36 seconds. These spirits here want to. Okay, yeah, we'll take it. Take responsibility for your choices. This is your life to live. Own it. You are a beautiful individual. Very, very beautiful. From the inside out. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to my reading. Maybe one day we'll cross paths. Until then, magic is fuck. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.